Hello, guys. In this prediction, we have President Joe Biden versus the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Now, Biden's approval rating has improved by quite a bit. Rasmussen has him at 47%, and that's a right leaning pollster. So, honestly, DeSantis may not be the favorite here, even though he's a much younger candidate. He's a lot more of a fresh face. It's really hard to unseat an incumbent president. Biden barely did it against Trump in 2020, so incumbency advantage is definitely a real thing in politics. It's really hard to override that. So we're going to get into the first few states. Alaska, DeSantis will definitely do better than Trump here. Probably win it just by about 10 points, same margin in 2020. In Florida, it's DeSantis' home state. He won by 20 points here in the 2022 elections. Even though there will be higher Democratic turnout in this state, I still think most independents are going to side with DeSantis here. And Colorado, I see this as a very progressive state now. It's trending a lot more Democratic as well. It's going to hard to see it go it down to likely. It's going to be a safe blue state. Okay. In Virginia and New Mexico, I think these are going to be likely states. I do think DeSantis, maybe if he picks Youngkin as his VP, he could get Virginia down to lean, but I kind of doubt it. I think he's just going to pick another VP choice, maybe like Kemp or something he could pick. To lock up Georgia instead because Virginia is kind of a long shot. New Mexico, it's just because DeSantis does very well with Latino voters, but it could just be a regional thing in Florida that he does well with Latino voters. But again, I think DeSantis could appeal much better than Trump in the Sun Belt region, and New Mexico is in the Sun Belt region. Okay, and Iowa and Ohio, I think DeSantis will match Trump's margins in both these states pretty much among most of the Republican base here and carry them by about the same 7 to 8 point margin. In Texas, DeSantis would definitely do better than Trump, especially among Latino voters, and I kind of think he fits the style of politics that Texas likes in a candidate, especially like a more Greg Abbott type politician. So I think DeSantis would do well here in the state of Texas, probably win it by about 5 or 6 points. It's still going to be trending left slowly and slowly every presidential election, which you have to take into account. Okay, let's go to New England. Maine at large, I think it's going to be a likely state for Joe Biden, while Maine's second is a lean district. New Hampshire I see getting a little bit closer, but I still think it goes to Biden by about 4.5%, mainly because it's a very socially liberal state now. It's lost its libertarian streak over time. Plus, DeSantis really isn't that moderate on a lot of policies, so I don't think he's going to flip this state. I think Biden's pretty favored to win it. All right. Let's see where we should go next. How about North Carolina and Georgia? North Carolina, I think DeSantis could stop it from being flipped by Joe Biden. He does have good Southern appeal. In the state of Georgia as well, I think DeSantis will be able to narrowly pick it off against Joe Biden because maybe he can convince like a few of those moderate Republicans who backed Brian Kemp to back him, and to convince those independents who are moderates as well to maybe back DeSantis. So I think he'll be definitely favored to win in Georgia there. Arizona and Nevada. Arizona, I think it's probably going to stick with Joe Biden. It's definitely trending Democratic. It's very trending to the Democratic Party. So it's going to be a very close state, but I think Biden's going to be narrowly favored here because he's pretty much a moderate in most issues, and voters realize that. While DeSantis will be slightly favored to win in Nevada just due to his strength among Latino voters, I definitely think he could do better than Trump with Latino voters in the state of Nevada. Okay, Nebraska second, DeSantis would definitely do better. Biden would only win this district by 4 instead of 6 in a Trump matchup. And the election hinges on the Rust Belt as it always does. Minnesota, I think, would be a likely state. And Michigan, I said in the last video, a Democratic trifecta in the state's definitely going to increase or try to attempt to increase voter turnout in the urban areas. They're probably going to make it a lot more easier to vote, and they're probably going to expand a lot of the polling centers in the urban areas to help convince or just help reduce the long lines, because that's just how it is in urban areas. A lot more, there's very few polling places, very long lines, and they're probably going to help shorten them by quite a bit. So I definitely do think Biden will get very high turnout in the urban areas here and probably flip this state to the likely column, honestly. You could always flip back to lean, but for now, I'm probably going to be putting into the likely column. Okay. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Well, that's a car honking outside. Alright, I hope you guys didn't hear that. It was kind of loud. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Okay. Pennsylvania, I think Biden will probably be favored to win, especially due to Philadelphia, and the urban centers here coming up big for Joe Biden. Plus, independent voters will definitely be able to win over. And the state of Wisconsin, I think Biden will be narrowly favored to win it by about a tilt margin here. So overall, Biden narrowly beats DeSantis just due to his strength among moderate independents. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.